Hello everyone, welcome back to Small Talk. I am going to record a quick video just to give a brief update of what happened after the job report that was issued on Friday morning. Um, to my surprise, actually, when I look at the report was actually very good. And shockingly, and not so shockingly, obviously, stock market crashed right after the job report came out. And the reason being is, so one would question, they were expecting 155,000 jobs for December, but we got 256,000, I believe it was, um, which is way better than what it was expected. So why since when did good news become a bad news? So it becomes bad news when you're invested in stock market. Obviously, the people who are investors don't like it right now, especially not at this moment, because what's going to happen now, the market is fearing that with the economy being so strong and with strong job report, Fed may not cut any rates or very even less than two rates or no rates, or in fact it might even start tightening, which I don't think is likely because Fed should not be tightening anymore. They've already um, done enough damage, which in the past 2 years, I know stock market has been going up, but some of the like low cap, like mid cap to small caps, have been struggling a lot. So that being said, obviously, but the talk is on the table. There are a few people who are bringing that up that maybe Fed will have no rate cuts, or they could in fact raise rates, which is, in my personal opinion, my humble opinion, unlikely that they would do that. But yes, it could go from two rate cuts to possibly one rate cut. People were not sure if Fed will do a rate cut in January. I already knew that they're probably not going to do rate cut in January. Most likely the first rate cut we'll see is probably mid-year, May, June. I'll be happy if they do a rate cut in May, and then maybe do one more towards the end of the year. But some analysts are expecting the rate cuts will probably take place no earlier than March, which is even better. If they do a rate cut in March, that's actually a lower expectation than what I have expected from the Federal Reserve. So that one thing that's uncertain in the market, and as I mentioned before, stock market does not like uncertainty. And the second thing market was not sure about whether, because the economy is so strong and they don't know whether Fed is going to announce that they're not going to do any rate cuts. And also, as I said, there are a few analysts who are of the opinion that in fact Fed might increase rates and raise rates, which will be pretty pathetic if they did that. But I don't think that's going to happen. Um, so the big institutions, so if you look at the stock market on Friday morning after the job report, um, early morning when the market collapses, it's basically mostly the sign the big institutions are actually taking the money off the table, and they're just going to sit back and wait to see which direction the economy is moving and which direction the Federal Reserve is going to move. So next week, as I mentioned in my previous video, we have CPI release on December 15th. I'm of the opinion that I think the report is going to be pretty decent. It's going to be either um, on expectation or maybe a little bit warmer, if that. And I think market is going to brush that off. So then, when the Fed has their meeting, then I think that will be then it'll be decided whether market should worry or not. So the first 3 months of the stock market is going to be very volatile, lots of bumps on the road. And then I think after, plus the institutions are obviously afraid because Trump has been talking about, regulatory policies, tariffs, etc. So they don't know which direction economy is going to go. If Trump imposes tariffs, then obviously the prices of the commodities and services are going to, well, not services, commodities are going to go up, which causes inflation ultimately, which is going to be pretty stupid because Trump ran the campaign based off of I'm pro economy, pro technology, pro stock market, and that just falsifies his own thesis. But you never know. That man is just unpredictable. He can say and do anything anytime he wants to do it. So those are the few things that the big investors and large institutions are worried about. So they're not so much worried, but I guess they just want to see which direction the things are going to roll out. And then Trump's inauguration isn't too far away. I think it's next week, if I remember correctly, or week after, the first day of the week after. So on the 20th of January, Martin Luther King Day. So stock market is going to be closed. Lots of offices and banks are closed, so you guys can enjoy his ceremony that day. Watch it on TV, or if you want to go visit in DC, be my guest. I have no intent of doing that. And then the first day of him taking over the office, he's of course going to uh, sign lots of executive orders, and let's see what executive orders will he sign, and then that will determine whether institutions are comfortable investing in the market or they're still a little reluctant and hesitant to put all their money in the market right now. So the first 3 months is going to be very bumpy, and then I think market overall, I'm very bullish on stock market going into 2025. I think stocks are going to do great. Not only the mega caps and the the mega seven, or all those, big five, whatever you call them. Not only those companies, they have done great for past 2 years. The tax, everything has been done very well last two years. I think even the mid cap and small caps are going to do really well this year. That's just my personal humble opinion. I could be wrong, as you can never predict what's going to take place. If everything stays the way it is, I think the mid cap and small cap, the trend is going to shift from mega cap and large cap to the small cap and mid cap industries, because that's where most of the growth is, and that's where you make quick money. Yes, it's a little bit more speculative, it's a little bit more like a gamble sort of thing, but it's there, so people do want to take advantage of this. And I think 2025 is going to have a perfect balance of large cap, mid cap, and small cap all together. Market overall is going to do well. The growth may not be 20% or 30%. 20%, that's what it has been for past 2 years. It could be less than 20%, but it will be across the board with every stock, every industry, etc. Not only just the tech stocks. Um, Tesla, my gosh, Tesla's been giving me heart attack lately. I am Tesla bull, just so you know. Um, the stock is dropping, I think, of course, because the market is going down. So Tesla is no exception. It's very difficult to keep the momentum going when the entire market is red, and therefore lots of people who are scared. Of course, retailers do make a big chunk of the stock market, but the majority of the money comes from the large institution, the ETF for firms and hedge fund managers, etc. And if once they pull the money out, it does put lots of downward pressure on every stock. And tech has been very high valued, so that's the first place where institutions are going to take the money out. And then retail follows suit, and people have their stop losses, so then stop losses trigger, and that's it, and then it just continues downward trend. As I said, just like every other stock in the stock market, I think Tesla is going to also face bumpy road. They have their earnings on the 29th of January. They're going to announce their fourth quarter 2024's earning. I don't know. I was very hopeful that their fourth quarter deliveries should be higher, because my opinion was, because there's going to be no tax credit going into 2025, the 7,500 tax credit that Tesla receives, the more people who were willing to buy Tesla, they will buy before the end of the year so they can take advantage of the tax credit. But the deliveries disappointed me. So now I'm a little bit reluctant to just give everybody a hopium that maybe um, their earning report is going to be excellent. It's not going to be bad. But now the problem is they have set the bar so high in their last quarter's earnings, where the expectation was, I think, 0.56 earning per share, but they end up announcing 0.72 or 0.75 earning per share, which was 25% higher or 18% higher than what was expected. Now, sometimes it's like psychological effect. People will think their this quarter earnings are going to also beat expectations, but it may not happen, because the China deliveries have been great, but across the board, I think the deliveries were a lot less than it was expected. So I don't know what the revenue is going to look like for the fourth quarter. I mean, that's not the only revenue income they have from the deliveries. They obviously have their charging stations, the batteries, etc., and other services that they provide. So I don't know. They could be great. They could be, it's okay. But market has been acting so weird lately that even on the good news, it starts collapsing. On the bad news, it starts going up, which just is mind-boggling. So I guess people are going through some psychological roller coaster ride right now. They don't know what to expect until Donald Trump takes over the office, and he's been in the office for at least a month. I think that's when people are going to have a clarity on what to expect from him, as far as the economy is concerned, as far as the technology is concerned, as far as the Bitcoin is concerned. I know he's been talking about that he's going to hold Bitcoin as the Federal Reserve, as the state reserve or Federal Reserve, whatever they call it. But who knows? I think he's going to do it, but nobody is 100% sure yet. So people are just sitting back and waiting to see what policies he's going to make. And as I said, after the first quarter, I think market is going to go up. Rate cuts, in my opinion, they'll probably do the first rate cut in May. Some analysts are of the opinion that they're going to probably do it in March. But again, everything is data dependent, so we cannot predict that for 100% which direction they're going to go. Bitcoin has been going sideways. I mean, there's lots of fluctuations, ups and downs. Lots of analysts think it's going to go back to $60,000. Who, if it does, I am actually waiting for that dip to happen, which in my opinion, it'll probably go down to 80,000, but not 60,000. I think they're just pushing it a little too far. But if it does happen, I have money sitting on the side, because then I can afford one Bitcoin that I can buy into. And I would love to invest that money into the Bitcoin. But even if it goes to 80,000, I'm still gonna buy. I may not be holding a whole entire coin, but I'll hold, a majority of it. So that'll be still a pretty good investment for me. So again, Bitcoin also has been running on enthusiasm after the election. So now people are taking money out because it ran up so much. People are taking profits, and there's, waiting on the sideline to see what policies Trump is going to make, how is this going to impact the Bitcoin pricing, etc. I have no doubt that by the end of 2025, it's gonna go up to $165,000 to $200,000 range. That's my price target. But before it gets to that, it has to drop or not. But I think it's going to drop a little bit. If not, definitely not 60K. That's going overboard, but maybe 80K range is absolutely possible. The other sad event that I want to talk about in this video, I usually don't talk about the current events in politics, etc. But whatever has been happening in California, that is just mind-boggling to me. We live in a country which claims to be the best country in the world. They have the best technology, the best resources, the best economy, which they don't. But they cannot control the fire that has been going on for so many days now. So many people have been killed, houses are demolished, and there is no end to it. There's a conspiracy out there. People are thinking that maybe they're just doing this on purpose. The politicians, they're just doing this on purpose so that they can build new low-cost homes, because that's what's needed in California, especially in LA, where the fire is going on. And that is going to have some impact. The other thing, I'm not trying to make people think that having a fire is a good thing, but it's something that has happened, and there's economic effects of that. Once people start getting their insurance checks and the government pours in the money, I think the retail pricing is going to go up, which ultimately is going to increase the revenue of those retailers, which is going to have great earnings, which is going to show the economy is strong, earnings are doing well, and then when companies report their quarterly earnings and the earnings have gone up, that is going to have an impact on the stock market. So may God protect all of those who are suffering through the fire. May God protect their properties, their families, etc. But at the end of the day, this channel, I talk about economy, banking, currency, finance, and lots of other things. I talk about everything. So that kind of gives me a little bit hope that maybe at the end of this whole chaos that's been going on in California, once people get their money, it's going to help the economy regardless, and it's going to help those um, retail um, companies, which are going to then have stronger earnings, which will definitely impact the stock market. Um, what else do I want to talk about? Apple, as I told you before, I don't know, I've never invested into Apple. Apple is not my favorite stock for some reason because it doesn't grow as much. But I have to say, it doesn't go up as much as Tesla and Bitcoin and some other small cap stocks. It just grows in a smaller pace, which means if there's a downtrend in the market, it doesn't collapse as fast either. The crash is going to be much less worse than the way it's going to be in those big companies. Those companies who run on momentum. For example, Tesla. Yes, it's a big tech. It's a high tech. It's AI. It's everything. It's EV, but usually Tesla runs on momentum, in my opinion, and Apple doesn't run on momentum. It has very slow and steady growth, which is a good thing and bad thing. It's a bad thing for those people who don't like slow, steady growth, like me. I don't like that. It has to give me like some excitement, and Apple is very boring for me. It doesn't give me any excitement. I don't. I like the thrill. And the other thing is, the people who are very cautious and careful investors, I think it's a good thing for them because they're growing slowly and steady, but at a very decent pace. But if there's a recession, if there's a pullback in the market, which I don't think there's going to be a recession, but pullbacks are always happening. There's always going to be red days and corrections, etc. Then it doesn't go down as quickly either. So you don't feel the pain that people like me feel it when there's a red day, because when it's a red day, I'm red and I'm like down so much on my portfolio. When I look at it, it just gives me pain. So then I get up and I start doing the work that has been pending for so many days, which I haven't done because I don't want to look at my portfolio that day. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the small cap stocks. I know Fubo TV, we talked about it in the last video. Fubo TV had a great contract with Disney. Disney is going to own 70% of it. It's been doing pretty well. It went up 300% within last week, and it's been going up and down every day. You can do a swing trade and day trade on that if you like. I bought some Fubo the first day when it went up, and I'm still holding it. So I think it's going to go up to $10. I'm just waiting for it to go to at least $7 or $10, then I can sell it and be out of it. So I'm doing a little swing trade. I know I said in the past I don't do the trading, but my friend has gotten me into this. So for past month or so, I've been doing small amounts, not too much, maybe $1,000, 500 here and there. So I make a couple $100 a day, which is kind of exciting that I actually made some money by doing nothing. And it's kind of addicting. Now I'm kind of liking it. So I still don't do day trade, but I do swing trade. I'll do like 1 or 2 trades a week, which is good enough for me. Uh, um, so that's it. I think small cap is going to do very well. I know there are lots of small cap. If there's a name robotics and AI attached to any of the stocks, they've been going parabolic. Some of the healthcare industry stocks as well, small cap like penny stocks, they've been going up quite a bit because everybody thinks Trump is coming in and he's going to ease lots of things, regulations, which is going to make it much easier for those researchers to present their results. And it's going to be FDA approved very soon, yada, 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 all that stuff. And I think that's kind of is very exciting for the stock market. And people like to get into penny stocks, not for long term, but short term to make quick money. And then they can invest that money into mega caps and large companies, which are more stable to kind of grow their wealth. That's that. I think market is going to do fine the next 3 months until March. I think it's going to be pretty bumpy ride, so be ready for it. Don't lose hope. Don't sell when the day is red. It's actually buy the dip opportunity. On red days, buy more shares if you have money of the stocks that are favorite and you want to buy into those. I don't have any cash left. The little bit of cash that I have, I'm keeping it for a special purpose. Other than that, I don't have any money to invest. So therefore, I'm not buying anything else. Yesterday was a very good day to buy the dip of some of the stocks that I've been holding for a long time. And I know they are going to go up now, so I can average down, but I didn't have any cash, so I just didn't put any money into it, which kind of hurts me because I'm just dumb. I just put everything in the stock market. So be wise, be smart. Don't get a loan to invest in the stock market. Only invest the extra money that you don't need, and you're okay to lose, if not all of it, at least some of it, because there's always a chance that you could lose this money. Not a personalized financial advice. Please um, talk to a financial advisor if you need more help. This is just a YouTube video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give my video a thumbs up. And please give me your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about. Until next video, goodbye and good luck.